All right, so this week on our Pandas tips, I'm going to be showing you how to use a Pandas pivot table. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to import Pandas. All right, import Pandas. And before I run the cell, we'll go df is equal to pd dot read csv. And the CSV that we're going to read is sitting on my desktop. Oh, it is sitting on my desktop users. Desktop. And it's in this folder. And inside of that folder is another folder. Let's see, do I still have it up? COPA cases summary. COPA cases summary.csv. Cool, and that's a typo. There we go. So now we've got our data loaded. Let's take a look really quick, see what we got. Run that. All right. So running that data, we see that we've got a whole bunch of different rows, blah, 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 blah. The thing that I'm kind of interested in is the beat, and why not? We'll do the beat, and we'll do the current category. Sure. All right. So the way that you do a pivot table in Pandas is you go pd dot pivot table. Oh, so original, right? Tell it which data set you're going to use. And then what you need to do is you need to tell it what your index is going to be. For this case, we're going to do index equals, the beat, right? And then we need to tell it what we want to turn into columns. What we're going to turn into columns this time is the current category. You have to be precise. Current category. Okay. So we've got our index, we've got our columns. Now we need an ag func, which we are going to say is a count. And we'll save that to table. And when we hit run, that shouldn't give us any errors. It did not. Perfect. So let's take a look at table. Just see what we got. All right. Okay. Okay. It's not bad. Looks like we still need to do a little bit of cleaning up because we've got one for each variable. Let's see. How about we go with log number. here we go. And let's fill NA. Now, this is kind of a cheat that I'm doing right here, where I am filling after the fact. I'll show. So there we go. Now we're filled in. We have the number of different types of cases per beat. And we can actually get rid of that. So now we're seeing all of them. Well, all of them ish. But we can export this to like a CSV file or something and look at it, or we can go change our configuration for Pandas so that it doesn't do this sort of thing. I'm not particularly interested in doing either of those. But I mean, you got these excessive force things, and it's like, dang, some of these are pretty high, like beat 935. That's not looking great. Of course, we're going back to like 97 with this data or something, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, we've now successfully pivoted our table, right? We've pivoted our data so that what we have is we have the beat down the rows, and across the columns we have the different complaints that were filed. So, and then we have individual counts for each of the complaint types per beat. Great. Now I said that I was sort of cheating right here with this because you can actually do it up here. I believe it's just fill NA equals 0. Nope, that's not it. When in doubt, go to the documentation. So going to the documentation, what we find, oh, there it is. It should have been, I'm sure some of you were yelling at me, so I was typing that in. It should be fill value. And if we get rid of the fill NA on that, we should get the exact same thing. Look at that. And it kept them as integers too. So yay, smaller memory footprint. All right, well, that's how you do a pivot table. I'll just talk really quickly. So when you supply this function pd.pivottable, you supply it with a data frame. You tell it which column you want to be your index column. You tell it which column you want to turn into more columns. And then you give it some sort of aggregation function. And that aggregation function can be a dictionary. And then you have all of the little parameters that you can fill in from the documentation here. There are tons of them, not really, but you can fill things in. You can say which value, the column you want to fill it in with. And then you can get totals on the principal axes of the thing. You can tell it to drop columns, that sort of stuff. So yeah, but the big thing is that you are telling it which column you want to turn into rows and which column you want to turn into even more columns. And that's how you do a pivot table. All right, that's it. Talk to you guys next week.